and inspiration. We got to go way up. Fire 716 Radio, playing the best in urban and inspirational music.
You like to the ball. Donta Myles on fire. 716 Radio. Yo.
What's going on? We are back. This is another week of the Vault. I'm here with my man Big Frank. Yes, sir. So we are here. It's your boy Dante, your councilman, aka Tank, aka D Belly. We out here in these good streets of Niagara Falls right here this morning. And what we're here, what's going on? What's going on, Mike, Auntie Mo? How y'all doing? Listen, today is a very special show. I got two guests up in here. First, let me do some house rules, some house cleaning, whatever the case is. If you're watching, make sure that you go to Fire 716. Download the app. You know what I mean? Because it's good content. I was just actually listening to them this morning. Y'all gonna want to watch that. It's talking about different situations as far as responsibility of men and women when it comes down to the bearing of child, abortions and choices and things like that, or whatever the case is. But it's always good topics, show topics. So check it out, Fire 716 Radio. Listen, today I got two people that's back on the ballot. You feel me? They're here to actually tell their story and listen and to express your experiences. So let me turn this camera back. Okay, so we have over here to my right the lovely Unica Lewis. What's up, Unica? And she is the city council candidate that's running. And all the way over here and all this orange right here, we got, right? We have Mr. Demetreus Nix, who is the candidate for mayor of the city of Niagara Falls. So listen, it's gonna be. I don't have listen. Y'all know I understand the process as well. Y'all, you know what I mean. But I want y'all to, pretty much give what your experiences, because it is experiences when you're doing this, because you're dealing with the public in such a different manner. And a lot of times you're dealing with some people that you're not used to, or areas and spaces that you're not used to, and then you still have the unexpecteds or whatever the case is. So I'm gonna start off with Mr. Nix. Mr. Nix, listen, let them know who you are and tell them what's going on, bro.
I'm Demetreus Nix, running for mayor of Niagara Falls. I'm a community leader. I'm a black activist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the founder of the Entrepreneur School of Thought, so I started that. I'm creating a Black Wall Street, 40 minority businesses in one location. So I'm really in the uplifting and building the community, and this is what I have been doing for a little over a decade, about 12, 13 years.
Now you being modest, because there's a lot of other stuff that you got.
I went on my old YouTube and stuff, and I started sharing stuff on Street News, and people like, where this came from. I'm like, y'all really thought I was new to this? I heard people say, you can't do it. Remember we saying, you can't do it without door knocking. Everybody's telling me, you can't do it without door knocking.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you ain't got to. You know why? I was around it. I might have left it for a minute. Mm-hmm. But, when I came home from prison at 23 years old, 24, I was with Ken Hamilton all in the politics. Learning all of this until I realized the power of the game was the power of the people. They was too busy chasing the money. I had to leave for a decade.
Yeah.
I had to come and get the people.
Right.
So y'all know, then I ended up leaving. I had my Street News. I started Bella Council. I used to run a women's magazine, a monthly subscribed women's magazine for a couple years.
Come on, man.
I worked for direct mail marketing companies. Man, my qualifications is crazy.
Right.
For a man with a 7th grade education.
Come on.
Who the school system of Niagara Falls has failed.
Wow.
So this is my thing. I can't wait to win this mayorship and go into the schools. And I don't want to go into the schools and just go in any classroom. I am, though, but I don't want to just go in any. I can't wait to go back to special ed.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to go and talk to the kids that sat where I sat,
that
don't believe that they could go anywhere tomorrow, because that's what every other kid tell them. And I could tell them, look where you could be.
Right.
skill sets that we bring into the city. Where that right there is 3. And then when you look down ballot, when I look down ballot and I look at the other people running, almost any option, with the exception of one, is a good point for what I'm trying to do. So we know for the next 2 years, this election could lock the government. That's what I'm not just trying to win. I'm trying to lock the whole government and open it up. With them 3 votes on the city council and the mayor's seat for at least 2 years, there's no excuse of why we ain't bring change or why we ain't open stuff up. There is no stopping us.
Accountability and responsibility.
The people opens it up because this Democrat, Republican, or this, you on this side or this side, is throwing up so many people from being able to make deals where it's like, let's get in here and just get things through. When people know it's a locked government, more people want to do business with that government when it's unlocked.
Right.
You know, when it's locked up, y'all just fighting with each other, and it's like,
that's that big issue that we've had for a long time. I've made it really clear, you know, during my campaign, was that I'm a person, not a party. At the end of the day, my decisions aren't based on what party I'm affiliated with and whatnot. And I think that's what has held our city up for a long time anyway, due to the fact that everything has been, okay, well, I'm in this party, so I have to agree with all of the, man, listen, I'm an independent thinker. I've been that since forever. At the end of the day, you got to be who you are, and you got to be genuine to yourself. Why he up here being modest, because there's a lot of things that I'm gonna keep it a buck with it. When I seen the orange construction building pop up, I was like, yo, this is dope. Wait, hold on, wait, like, and then I got the message behind it. I'm like, okay, this dude doing it, and then next thing you know,
and unity.
The school of thought. I seen that orange over there. I was like, then I seen the trucks. Then I'm like, oh my God, like this, and then orange dumpsters. I'm seeing all of them. I'm like, yo, like, but then all of a sudden I'm starting to see youth out here working in the wintertime, shoveling snow. I mean, you took it back. That's what got me. You took it back to old school. That's what I was used to back in the day. Get you a rake. Get you a little lawnmower, a little beat up lawnmower, get some shovel. Yo, let's go make this money. It's money out here to be made. You ain't got no excuse. We had to walk around. We did what we had to do. And for you to pull them into the basic concept of, yo, let's do this in a manner that, you know, in a healthy manner, and y'all can make some money. Here, hold on, wait, blacktop. I said, what is this dude not doing?
Man, you know what I realized though? All this stuff we doing, right? I still don't got enough resources to cover all the youth that's coming to me now. Now that I've been giving them jobs, now that I've been giving them opportunities, they running to me, and I got to keep turning them away. I don't got no job right now.
Yeah.
I don't got no house.
Yeah.
Because there's so many now, I can't keep up. We need resources.
Definitely. The resources is definitely key. We're going to get back to Mr. Nix. We're going to turn it over here to Miss Unica. Listen, Unica, let me tell you something about Unica. And let me just keep it 100 with everybody let me put this camera on me so you can see my mouth and my face. During the beginning of this whole campaign situation, you know, I understand how tough it is when it comes down to running. Like you got business to take care of. You got petitions. Y'all been through that process. You got, you got to talk to the people. You got to get your platform out, because that's what you're gonna sell who you are before. And there's nothing right now. I mean, well, let me just rephrase that, because you have been doing things. Government, as far as governing, you can't do nothing until you get in that seat, as far as governing is concerned. So, with that being said, of course, people got to know who you are as a person, why you're running, and what you bring to the table of governing, right? So I understood that. But one thing that I made clear, so I want to make this very clear, is I express to everyone the same way. I have a podcast. So for some of y'all who might have these preconceived notions or whatever the case is, I made it clear. At the end of the day, these two right here actually got back to me and said, okay, we're gonna set up this. So at the end of the day, they're here, they rocking it out because that's a choice that they made. Any other person has the right and has the opportunity to do the same thing that they're doing today. They just was the early bird that got the early worm. So I'm gonna turn that back around here to Miss Lewis.
And it's the fact y'all know. Everybody gotta know right now. We polarizing. We polarizing.
Right.
We gotta be your first show.
Right.
We gotta be the first
Right.
ones. People want ratings to get the word out. We're polarizing.
Let me tell you something. Real talk, and especially I'm gonna get right back to you, Nick. Orange is a different thing for me now. Every time I see orange, it don't make no sense. I be feeling like, is that Mimi's truck?
You never know.
If something orange pop up, somebody it's gonna be bad for anybody who buy an orange truck or orange car because we all automatically gonna think it's associated. but it's a good meaning because I understand that I'm gonna go back to you so you can really give that meaning exactly why you chose orange too, because it's a beautiful thing. So, Unica, one thing I'm gonna talk about Unica is that here I don't want to hold the camera on her. I'm gonna put it back on her. One thing that I'll say about her is that I had mentioned to her and to this at the School of Thought that, like, listen, I didn't want to talk and I felt like I was complaining, bro, right? And I was like, so the best way to see what's really happening in local government is just to come and see. You ain't got to beat the podium like I did. Just for I'm talking about just for the community. And when I say consistency, Unica knows probably more what's going on in local government now than most of the people because she's consistent. She's there. She's not just there, but she's taking notes. She's recording. She's paying attention. She's asking questions. So the thing is so I can respect what it is that you're doing. So, but I'm not going to be the one that talk about it. I want you to actually, okay, put that back on you. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you're about and what you're doing.
Okay, well, everybody, I'm Unica Lewis. I'm ready for city council because, like Dante said, I have been attending the meetings. I see what's going on firsthand, and I feel like I can be a part of city council is really for the people. But as I sit in the meetings, it seems like everything is for the money and the favoritism and the different people that sit up on city council. They all represent a different part of the city, and they're more lenient towards their needs and what they lack. Where we live in the underserved community, we're like forgotten about. There's so many funds available. I think the last budget there was like maybe like 20 million left over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why wouldn't you invest that into the underserved community? Like, I can point out different parts of the city that could definitely use that funding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to make a budget and then allocate all this money and then approve certain money and then all this money be left over is like, what are we really doing? We're supposed to be for the people, the community, the working people that live here. So there's a lot of people that's lacking a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to make a difference and hopefully be a part of and to actually, make a difference in what's going on at this time.
And true story is I always make the statement, change requires change. So what happens is, okay, now I got both of y'all on here, so now we can kind of, I've got the introductions out and everything like that. Change definitely requires change, and one thing, I mean, let's keep it a buck. It's different now. Things we didn't get to where we are in the city of Niagara Falls because it didn't happen overnight. Let me just put it that way. What happened in the city of Niagara Falls in regards to who we are and what we're dealing with right now, it didn't happen. No, it was decades of neglect. For decades, right? A whole lot of neglect. And so it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to take disruption. I'm going to be 100, and anybody that know me, I've been making people, especially this past week, I've made a lot of folk mad, and that's okay. I'm good with that, right? But what has to happen is there's such a level of comfortability that there has to be a level of disruption. because people are getting very comfortable with the status. They want to keep the same status quo. They want things to remain the same as it is. But what has happened is we watched the decline of our city. Our city used to be 115 plus thousand people here, and we're less than 50 now. But we preach the message that we want more people to come. But what have we offered as a local government to the city, to the people that are here? If I lived outside of Niagara Falls and I hit up, hey, how y'all getting treated in the falls? I was thinking about moving my business there. We're the highest tax when it comes down to far as like when it comes down to like, let's say, business. Open up a business, homestead versus non-homestead. I've been fighting that for a short, because guess what? If you open a business, they're gonna tax you up here. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being, instead of learning how to flip money, that's for y'all that may not know. That's a term that sometimes may be used in the street, where you flip the money. You take money that you got and you learn how to flip it to make more money. We haven't gotten into the art of that solely because of the fact we got so caught up in tourism, and we don't understand that the biggest investment is people. You don't invest in people, you lose the whole game. So let me put the camera back. So tell us a little bit about your platform. I don't know who would want to go first, but pretty much this.
I'll lead the we all we got way on this one. We all we got. So the platform comes with the run. You got to understand the run to understand the platform. The run started last year. So in 2022, I made a board. It was called the Year to Leader. And on this board was the plan for the whole year, what we were supposed to do, what we were supposed to accomplish. Part of it was a fake political run with those in the community that had high influence to do a mass voter drive, so where when the time came for election, we would have power. Our voices would be heard. Issues that concerned us, we could put out there. So some kind of how this fake little run turned into so much support, and now we got the people behind us. They really jacking it. So I'm running around trying to find replacements. I don't want to be the mayor. Listen, I'm doing very, 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 very well in life. So then I can't find a replacement. Nobody wants to be that disruption. Nobody wants to go in there and say, I'm willing to do what it takes. I got the plan. I'm like, I got the plan right here. This is the plan. Don't worry about that, because we're going to redefine political science. And that's what I said. We're going to redefine it. Don't worry. Some stuff we got to take, but some stuff we're going to redefine political science, because I believe the people is ready. Because if you don't wake up the people and you keep going for them same 4,500, and you know what numbers I'm talking about. For those that don't know, it's 4,500 that votes in every single primary. That's who gets catered to. Most of them even get forgotten about for 4 years, though. It's no way. Rustino's showing his face now, but for 3 years he was gone. So now what happens? Rustino started attacking me. Why is this man attacking me still? And y'all know I can't just sit down. So now I got to come back. Now I'm coming for your seat, and there's a big group of people behind me. And now the platform take. What is my platform? My platform is issues. My platform is resources. It wasn't like I had this big man. I believe in the people. I believe that if you put me in office, I'm going to be a hell of a CEO. Anybody that know the story of Apple, you know that when whatever the W dude name was, when he stepped down, Steve Jobs didn't step up as the CEO. They went to the guy that ran Pepsi to come and be the CEO of Apple. Even though he didn't know that field, he knew how to be a CEO and put everybody in their right positions to run downhill. And I work very hard. Y'all know me. Ain't no city hall doors going to open, and I ain't the first one at them. I wake up in the morning, man, I'm going to put my toothbrush in my office. I'm going to get up in the morning in my pajamas. I'm going to go right over to City Hall. I'm going to go in. I'm going to brush my teeth, and every single day for 4 years, I'm going to get to work. But what I'm going to work on? I start thinking, okay, what is the issues of the people? The same issues I've been pushing. Why is our electric bill so god dang high? Why is this garbage fee here? But I'm also, like you said, I'm in the dumpsters.
Yeah.
So when they heard talking about a garbage fee that they got to charge us all, I know that Modern just just pushed their prices up $15, even on their most loyal customers.
Mhm.
So I know what the problem is with the garbage fee.
Right.
It lies over here. I don't need to get us more money.
Right.
I need to make some better deals, some
Right.
better contracts. This is what I'm good at. So now we start pushing this. Unica start coming back with, hey, is this, that, and the third? You know, at first I was going to run alone. You know, it was a fake campaign. And then y'all know what happened.
Right. Right.
I found out the hard way that the Democrats was teamed up together. They teamed up together. I don't know how it happened or what it was. I found out they teamed up together. So now I'm going crazy. Okay, they teaming up together. It's time to take it all. I see how it's lined up. So I put Unica and I put Nick on. But really, Nick was just like, if he make it, he make it. If he don't, he don't. He didn't really care. And the point was, the matter is to give them, if they wanted something to attack, you had to give them something to attack. And two of us made it through, which was me and Unica, because we was actually on the ballot.
The same
it's
petition.
now 6 days in when I find out that the Democrats is teamed together. I come back to the office. I said, throw them out. I said, throw what? Throw all them petitions out. Start over. Why? I said, hold up. We're about to go together and we're about to run. I said, who can I call? Mary said, Unica should run. I said, yeah, you should run. You doing all this work anyways, you would do it. And she like, well, yeah, I think about it. I said, good. As soon as she walked out, I said, Mary, put her on the petition. Let's go. So all these issues started becoming our platform.
Right.
You know, I'm willing to connect the city council. Like you said, we have 3. The other 2, get the hell on board. I'm reaching out right now to people running for county legislators, trying to get them to get with me, because we need a big attack to go after Albany in a very nice, peaceful, strong,
structure.
maybe disruptive.
Absolutely disruptive. If you have to, right
way where we could get Albany to say, hey, can we get some more of this park money? And if we can't get none of that park money, then give us something that's going to take some of that park money and bring it into our community, meaning you're going to push the tourists into our community, which means you got to help us fix Pine Avenue and Main Street. See, Main Street is something I want to target local American investors to come in and go on Main Street. Pine Avenue, Pine is for the community. Yeah. Pine has to be, I want to push straight local businesses on Pine. Right. And on Main Street, you do a little American, and then downtown, I think that we have to go foreign. We want to build our downtown and touch the sky. I think we're going to find some of these countries right now that don't know what to do with their wealth, and we offer them an opportunity to invest in the city in America. Yeah. And we could get us a skyline. In 4 years, you only get one term out of me, then I got to go back to garbage. Garbage makes good money. And that's why I feel like they're like, take off your pajamas, do this, and I won't change. You know why? I feel like it's a privilege to have my 4 years. My time is valuable. I use every single minute. If I say I'm going to give this city 4 years, I'm going to give you the best 4 years of my life. And one day I'm going to be on the cover of every magazine and every single, because I plan on leading the inner city. The mayor ain't a big seat to me. They're like, yeah, but it's the mayor. That ain't what I'm in this fight for. I want to bring down the killings in America. Right. I want to slow down the drug dealing and drug use in America. I want to turn over with mass incarceration, and I don't want it to be what we just lost. I want opportunity to be in the face of my brothers and my sisters that went through what I went through. Right. Healthcare. You put me in the mayor's seat, we got to go and fight for some good healthcare. We got to go and figure out why these pharmaceutical companies, I'm going to use this platform and this stage to do greater things that's on my list. You know, I got sick babies. I'm understanding how hard healthcare is. Right. So these is real issues that we can't just talk about on this level, but I could tackle it all because I'm a CEO. Right. I know how to, hold up, whoever been doing our negotiating, they're fired when I get it all. I don't know who it is, but they're fired. They're fired. I know that. I know another thing we're going to do with the resources that me and Unica was talking about. It's hard to do when you ain't in the government, but when she in the council seat, we're going to track the resources. So if it's $2 million was allowed to this, we're going to start with the $2 million, where it went, and we're going to track all the way down. And if you've been stealing, you're going to jail. Right. You're going to jail. Do you understand?
Because guess what? If anybody else steal, they going to jail.
And the ineffective,
quick.
And the ineffective ones that got these contracts and they getting this money that's supposed to go to the people, but they ineffective and it's not getting to the people. their good contracts getting cut.
Yeah.
Because our resources and what we allot, when y'all make that budget and y'all say we giving this people this, we giving this, we're gonna fix Hyde Park with this amount of money and we're gonna do this, we're gonna make sure that is done.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure that the money gets to where it's supposed to. So the stealing is gonna stop. I'm only getting in for one term, so they're gonna be mad at me because I'm gonna try and put in term limits.
Right.
There ain't no need for you to live on the government.
Right.
Come in here, do your due diligence to the community, get in here, help the community, give your skill set to the community, then go back to private life and make your money and take care of your family.
And if you, that's the thing about it. That's one thing I can say, especially with term limits, because I don't believe in having these long extended terms, because what happens is, if you know you only got a specific amount of time to get something done, what's gonna happen as soon as you hit the ground? You're gonna hit the ground running, because you want to leave a legacy from your position.
You want to leave a legacy.
And that's so for me, that's a real deal. That's a real thing, right? So real talk, I love when you say tracing this money. Because that's one thing that I just recently, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is that good transparency that I talk about. I've been reaching out to our come on, it's Dan Morello, the people, our.
You know what's beautiful?
I can't even think right now.
You know what's beautiful about us?
What's that?
You could say the position because we don't really know none of their names.
Right.
By us not knowing none of their names, we're
right.
not beholden to nobody.
Oh, no. I'm the position just slipping my corporation council. Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yo, the name don't even matter.
Right.
Corporation
but watch this, corporation council. So that deals with our lawyer, people who are basically supposed to know exactly where our money is. Let me just put it that way.
Our good accountants.
Right. Now,
our highly paid,
very handsomely paid accountants. And one of the questions that I asked was, for this Centennial Park eminent domain, I said, I need to know, as a councilman, I need to know how much money have we paid out in legal fees in just this eminent, because I know eminent domain costs a lot of this, and I know the eminent domain process with the splash park was like 8 years. It took 8 years as far as that process. So guess what? I'm a lawyer. I can get 8 years of this. Oh, let me stretch. Oh, I'm gonna stretch this out. Exactly. Go ahead. Yeah, let's keep arguing.
Let me ask you a question. What happens to Centennial Park, right? June 28th, when the mayor wake up and realize this man in pajamas doubled me. Listen, that's why I want to beat him so bad. I want to beat him so bad where his hopes don't even get up for November. Because if I beat him by 5 votes, they're going to try and Byron Brown me. But if I beat him so bad that when he wake up that next morning and he realize your legacy was Centennial Park and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What's going to happen then? What happens with all the money? What happens with the whole process of the eminent domain? What happens with it now? It's like, do we just lose that money? Did we just lose 2-3 years worth of high, very, very expensive legal fees?
Right.
That's the thing.
Analyzations.
Right. All of these case studies and all of the so my thing is this, and I'm gonna keep it 100. It's a way to be diplomatic in a situation. You know, a lot of people know that me and the mayor, we butted heads all last year and before I got in, because I was challenging him. And if I challenge you as your constituent, don't you know, once I get in, I'm gonna challenge you as, you know what I'm saying, as your counterpart, or as, you know, the person that should be your checks and balances. You can't just put things through. Well, at least not with me.
Yeah.
There was a different story with my colleagues.
Absolutely.
You seen it all last year.
It seemed like everybody
was washing each other's hands. Everybody, that's what it is. They say it's politics. That's why everybody be like, that ain't how politics work. I'm like, we need to change it.
Yeah, right. Well, so what's gonna happen is that's where disruption comes in. And so for me, it was like, yo, where is show me the money? Show the people, because that's supposed to be readily available. Y'all got smart people in there. Y'all got some good minds in there that's handling this business. don't try to play me as if I'm a dumb person and you can just think that I can tell him this and he's gonna go away. Did I go away after a full-fledged year? Like, I had personal issues that I was dealing with last year, still fighting in the midst of everything. So do you not think that with a clearer head, and this is like, this year is really, I just had to step away from just a lot just to clear my space, because I'm on the same time, but a different level. That's where I'm at. So if they thought I was something last year, keep living. That's my grandma used to say, keep on living, baby.
I can tell y'all one thing about me. June 28th, if I lose, right? June 28th, y'all will never hear from me in government again. But you will hear from me still in the fight for the people.
Right.
You still hear from me in the fight trying to stop crime. But as far as government, I'm done. I'm not going to be going to no council meetings. I'm not. You know what? The city, do what y'all do. I'm going to save the people, and I'm going to pull us. Because right now what's happening to us being shipped around and another thing, it's clear. You know, I was talking to someone the other day, and they said that they was like, yeah, I just found a nice house out on Lake Sale. I sat back and said, I've been hearing that a lot lately. Y'all don't realize we all moving out there? We're not changing the problem. All we're doing is moving it.
All right.
So what I'm trying to do, that's why they're like, how they going to resonate with you? Because at the end of the day, they got to realize if I can't stop the problems with the resources that we need to stop the problems that's happening on the 19th Street or in these hot zones.
Right.
If these can't be stopped, it ain't going to do nothing but move out to 66th Street.
Right.
101st Street.
Right.
And nothing stopping somebody from getting shot out there. There's more shootings. There's more drug raids.
Right. Sure is.
It ain't drug raids ain't happening just downtown no more. They hitting out there.
Right. No, that's a real deal. Yo, and it ain't just rats just moving running out in the cell now. It's different issues. That's why I always say
everybody think they running out there and they getting away from
no one is. There's not a portion of this city that's exempt from the issues that happens in the inner city and the neglected.
It is one.
Huh?
The vote still ain't nobody hearing they got.
Hold on, wait, no. No, they're not.
Still.
Watch this. I'm gonna bless you real quick. The vote has these issues. The vote just quiet about them. The vote ain't putting. You ain't gonna find it in the paper.
You know what? You know what issues?
No.
Right. They don't gotta worry about the shootings and all that. But you know what they do gotta worry about? Sending my kids to school with the rest of the city. Listen, if this part of the city is messed up and this part is good, when them kids go to school together, they become in the middle. Some of y'all gonna fall down here. Some of us gonna move here. This is how it works. When we don't help our neighbor, we destroy ourselves. And it's time for the vote. They sell everybody to understand that it's time for you to see your neighbor rise. Because if your neighbor rise, your city gonna rise.
And listen, Wendy just put down here. She said LaSalle ain't nothing but 4 minutes away. And it was just a shooting in DeVoe, she said.
Yeah, because you know why? Because they thought that they could suppress the problem downtown like it wasn't going to pop up in other places, and it's just starting.
Yeah.
Think about it. The East was the bad spot when NFR came in and said we could bring down the crime on East Fall Street. And everybody was so much crime, so much shooting, so much drugs. It's a crack pandemic going on. Everybody believed them. They started turning everything, the keys of the city over to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now look, all the crime is gone. It moved over to the middle of town.
Right.
Now we got somebody holding all of our land. And now y'all trying to pay millions to take it back. Y'all gave them the center for $1. Why don't y'all just ask them to give them $2? You give it a
Listen, Josh said that's exactly what happens when we go to school. Eventually, we all mesh together and end up having the same issues. That's a fact.
And that's why I feel that I don't need to change. I could resonate being me, and I think more and more. And
please don't.
More people is grabbing on.
Do not put my face on this. Do not. Now, this is for anybody that cares about our city. Period. Point blank. Do not change who you are. God made you who you were to be exactly who you were and to do exactly what you're supposed to do. Everybody does not have your same DNA. We all have different fingerprints for different reasons. We all have different DNA for different reasons. The cat that I was back in 2019, 2021, I'm that same person. I can't, it's not for me to fall in just more experiences, just learning learning. I'm gonna be learning until the day my box drop. I'm a fiend for knowledge when it comes down to that. And I believe in learning through my experiences. I don't mind learning from somebody else's experience because I ain't trying to fall too much, you know what I'm saying, and get bruised up. But at the end of the day, is when you're running from this running for this position, because I've seen some people in politics that had good intentions before, had good intentions, and they got into politics, and then politics overtake. And next thing you know, you find yourself kind of going along to
Playing
get
the
along
game because now you got to show.
because this is who, because you know what I'm saying. So for me, my whole take was, Dante, you gonna run. Dante, you got 2 kids that you're responsible for. I'm a single father. You got 2 kids that you got to make sure that their quality of life. And I always make that clear. I said, because in the beginning it sounded like it was kind of selfish, because it's like, yo, me and my kids. Well, what about it? I said, if you think about it, like, wake up. If you think about it, if I could change the dynamics of quality of life for my kids, not my kids surround the quality of life, that's holistic. If I can change that for them, I'm changing it for your kids and your grandkids and your nieces and your nephews. So that's the thing about it. So for me, it was like, I'm gonna get in. Sometimes, of course, you have to be a little palatable. You have to find you have to find yourself. I toned down because when I first came, I was like, yo, I'm ready to. But I said, let me just chill for a second. Talk to. You know, because I was frustrated. I was real frustrated. My first reasoning.
I probably never toned down.
I already know. Listen, hold on, wait. Go ahead.
That's the beautiful thing about somebody like me that's going in here and know, like, I'm ready. I got enough property right now to sell all my properties and go and tell my life story. I was supposed to do it at 45. I'm 6-7 years early. Mm-hmm. Me only doing 4 years, and like you said, that legacy. I believe in legacies. Right. I got my grandfather's legacy on my back. I got the guy that I actually killed as a kid. His legacy is on my back. If I don't change and do nothing with my life, his life was really lost in vain. Mm-hmm. I live for these things. So when I look at it as in 4 years, I got to be the greatest mayor this city ever seen. Where they going to be saying, if he would have stayed. Yeah. And if I don't make it, it's going to be, we should have had him. right. But I'm not going to change. It's like, I'm going to, and when you only know, I only got 4 years to make a legacy. I'm not beholden to nobody. Meaning I don't got to get in here and say, if you don't like me, you're not going to vote for me in 3 years. So I got to give you what you want. Can I tell y'all something? I'm glad you said that, because if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna just segue into a little recent situation. Go ahead. All right, so I had this recent situation, and where, mayor, first time, he never called me all last year when it came down to any of these council meetings, any of these special meetings. Matter of fact, so here's all of the here's that transparency once again. When I got in, the mayor made it clear to Mr. Tompkins that he wasn't coming to any more of our city. Flag that I put out to all of the other people that kept coming to me saying, you should be willing to work with the mayor and so on and so forth. I'm like, well, this whole idea of him not showing up to the meeting after I get elected and creating special meetings where people can't speak doesn't show any sign of anybody wanting to work with me. Right. So I kind of left. I was like, okay. So y'all know I boycotted the meetings at first. I stopped going, but we had the whole rally. And there were people who were acting like they were with me and fighting for it. But now all of a sudden, because of this, and I'm gonna fast forward to this past week. But I boycotted it. For those who don't pay attention. And I stopped going, feeling like maybe that might raise awareness and maybe he might stop. But he just kept going. So I had to change my game up. So then I stopped boycotting. I started coming
questioning, filibustering the whole meeting, asking questions on every single. This man had a 32 item agenda items that took them 5-10 minutes for a meeting. How do you go through 32 agenda items for a special meeting? None of my colleagues asked him one question. They just yesed everything through. And that's what I started noticing. I'm like, yo, these decisions are still being made, whether I'm there or not. So I need to come. So I came and I turned a 5-10 minute meeting into an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. He got upset. And I did that a couple of times. And then all of a sudden, it started fizzling out. Didn't have any more. Fast forward to this past week, or the week before this past week, the mayor reached out. He called me, wanted to talk. So y'all getting this. This is fresh off the press. Yeah, he wanted to talk. So I'm like, I know it's campaign season. What you want to talk about? He was talking about, some items. At first, I thought he was talking about items to go on this Wednesday's agenda. And I'm trying to see where his head is at or whatever the case is. And the first thing he started talking about is this feasibility study for this, Centennial Park. I'm sitting up here like, here we go. Watch this. But see, here's the thing about it. And then this guy tells me, well, let me go back. He had said in a previous conversation that he had absolutely nothing to do with the funding being taken away from my job that I had last year when I was working for Pinnacle, when I have all of the receipts. And I'm not going to go into that because it's not about me. Just fast forwarding to this whole situation. So I sat there and I'm like, I ain't meeting you in your office. So I met him at Simply Soul. From the people, you know what I'm saying? We sitting there. So I'm like, okay, so what you talking? And so he talking about this. And these lights were like an afterthought. There wasn't no level of importance when it came down to these street lights at that meeting, since he wanted to talk. And I'm quite sure probably a couple of trolls on here that y'all go tell them. Absolutely. Didn't mention anything. At first, his first main thing was about this feasibility study about the Centennial Park and what it's going to do for the city. And I'm sitting up there and I'm entertaining you because back in 2019, you did a whole bunch of this and you didn't follow through in anything. You thought you were going to tell me everything that you thought I wanted to hear. And then when you got in, you did different. So I entertained you and I made you feel like, and that, guess what? And I didn't lie. Let me tell you, because that's the thing that he's trying to put out now. He said he was going to come to the meeting and he lied and he didn't show up. No, you asked me, could I make a 5 o'clock meeting? Do you think you'd be able to do? I said I could make a 5 o'clock meeting. I could. Did I say I was going to be there? No, I never said that. You're a lawyer. You should know words mean something, right? So what happened is he kind of got played. But the thing is here's where what happens with me. How do you think, what type of person, I said this yesterday in my live, what type of person would I be? I fought these special meetings all last year. Hardcore. The voice of the people mean everything to me. I made that clear. What kind of person would I have been that this past Wednesday that I came up, stood on that dais and voted, even if I voted for just that one thing, that one item with the street lights, what type of person would that have made me? I would have been a liar. I would have been a fraud. All last year, you fought all last year. You care about the voice of the people. You having these rallies, you doing all of this stuff against special meetings, and all of a sudden you're going to hop on. So for you to think that you could actually insult my intelligence, sir, and think that you're going to coerce me to go against my principles and sit on that dais and actually vote, you're lost. So and this is where my head is right now. I'm my own person. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, don't change. I'm saying I'll make a long story short, or make a long story less long, is I'm still the same person. I don't know if he thought that this new election cycle was going to change. Like maybe I can talk to him and, we're running. I got the endorsement. So he's on the, listen, I am a person, not a party. So that was just that.
You know what else I've been thinking about this? I know we probably can't do it once, twice a month, but I want to open up the chambers with a special meeting when I'm mayor, right? if we could do it once a month, twice a month, once a month preferably, twice a month would be better. But where the people could just come, we ain't gonna sit back there behind the podiums. We're gonna sit with the people. We're gonna
right.
dream of our city. We're gonna talk about our city, and we're gonna have somebody from the city, not somebody from us, from the people, writing down everything and making sure that we keep this stuff together and open up the chambers for the people to be able to come, talk, and plan. I want to make this exclusive to the people where when I walk away, it's like the people always going to thank me that they're going to have that voice or that step because they fucked up.
Yeah.
When they let me learn this process, even if I lose, I already been watching and now I got the hands-on experience through all the headaches.
Right.
So I think we need them extra things where the people could come in and not just for the good of the community, where they could just come in and talk about stuff that's not on the agenda, that's not nothing, that's getting us together. Saying,
on record,
next week
still.
we're working on this. Yeah, next week we're working on this. And we're sitting with the people because I don't know if I'm mayor. I don't know if I can sit at that mayor podium. I can't lie to y'all. I might have to sit with the people. When I hear the people whispering shit, I might have to speak up for them. That's just me. I can understand who y'all going to get as mayor. It's going to be different. Y'all tell the people to shut up. Y'all not going to be able to do that if I'm mayor because I'm going to sit with the people. Even now. Even though they be like, yo, you rich or you're very successful. Why you look like that? Because I am still the people. I am still the same person I was when I had to sit on the corner because I didn't have nothing.
Yeah. See, it's a level of detachment.
When I had a gambling problem and I was caught in the casino and the casino was taking all my money, but I was working for a direct mail marketing company bringing in $1,200 a week. But by the time payday came around, I was in their kitchen looking for free noodles.
Wow, right.
I done went through the whole process of this to understand that, man, my skill set is there. I know the sister's skill set is there. You see, she quiet. Y'all see, she says she quiet. She know the numbers though.
Right.
She is my counsel. So when I go to be mayor, how can I not bring my counsel with me? She is a counsel. She's watching the numbers. I know how to get it going and back. Yo, babe, take care of this.
I don't care about. That's one thing about it. Let me keep it a buck with you. I don't care about all that flashy.
They do.
They do, like people do.
Everybody say you need to.
So you rather for me to look good when I rob you or have on a ski mask? You still rob me. I don't understand it.
You get robbed regardless. Now, so here's the thing. Like when it comes down to, like, out here bling bling bling, it's a difference between having a conversation with somebody, sitting down and saying, "Listen, here's what I understand when it comes down to our city. Here's what I understand that could use some attention. Here's what I can understand that we actually here's the low-hanging fruit. So here's our first priority that we can really tackle now. And then, but this right here, here's the strategy. Like I like for someone that can have that conversation and sit down without all of the bells and whistles. That kind of, because for me, that's called taking care of the real business. Some people get real flashy. Some people want to be loud. Some like extra, like, and so on and so forth.
Somebody, a voter asked me this the other day. They was like, and it was a voter from the vote. It was like, so, but when you become mayor, are you gonna, see how you talking to us now? Are you not gonna talk to us then? And you gonna stop talking to us? I said, I'm gonna be real with you. If you got an issue, if you need a tree cut down, right? I'm going to make sure that the person is there that could address you. You talking to me about a tree? No.
Right.
I'm not even going to lie to you for your vote. Nope. You're not. I'm going to make sure that the right pieces is in place for your right issues. My time's still going to be sacred, still going to be valuable. Right now, being in this movement, if you see me, even before running for mayor or anything, how hard it is to get me to sit down for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's almost nearly impossible.
Even now, I'm working on 3 houses. I'm putting up a deck.
I see you moving now. You look like you squirming about ready to get off the seat right now. See, and here's the thing about it. So, and this is for people to know. So when it comes down to DPW, so you're talking about your grass, you're talking about the streets, you're talking about, trees and stuff like that, forestry. When you talk about code enforcement, another one, that's your homes, the homes that are not up to code and that are run down, and some that are beyond repair or whatever the case is. Homes that are owned by people who are out of state slumlords and stuff like that. Those type of situations. When you talk about the police department, your chiefs. You're talking when you talk about all of the another one,
that's
community development. I'm naming these things right here because a lot of these, what I just named, we have so many issues with all of them. And guess who appoints the heads?
Demetreus
Those
Nix.
heads. Hey, you call it what you say. Speak a thing as it is, right? The mayor appoints that.
And
So
all of the funding that they got, I think it was excessive.
Listen,
that was
it goes.
Sometimes, listen. There's two things with excessive though, because we got to understand both sides. One side we'll say he's getting paid too much, but on the other side, if you don't pay it, you don't get quality.
You don't get quality. So it's some quality over quantity.
Track, but it got to be at a point where it ain't. See, right now they all friendship jobs. I'm putting you there because you helped me do this. Right. I'm putting you there because your qualifications and your skills. I'm gonna look right past your looks. Right. What is your qualifications? What is your skills? You're able to do this. You're able to go in here and say, I want everybody that runs every single department to promise me that they could get their department together in 4 years.
How about a year and a half?
What I mean by 4 years,
get what you mean,
we all leave.
Right,
you leaving with me. Right. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not staying. So in these 4 years, like, can we really take the police department and start bridging that gap between the police and the community and have a chief that encourages this? And it's a lot of officers that want it, but it's not being encouraged and pushed enough. They don't know how. Right. We're gonna give the how. We're going to connect the dots. We're going to stop we're going to make sure that it's more accessible and that people more, like when you see a cop, we waving instead of running. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Resources, and that's another thing when it comes down
that
to.
That don't mean cutting their pay, because if we cut their pay, they got a risky job.
Right. And that's, yeah. You
their
can't.
life is in danger. We need them to be led right to do a job. Okay, we need you walking the beat. We know you're getting old and big, but we need you to, definitely these old cops that got respect. Them the ones that, they need to walk sometime. They need to get out here and be seen.
And also, especially when it comes down to, like, like our current administration, they was trying to pride themselves on, hey, we cut overtime with the police, but yet now we got 6 police officers at city council meeting doing overtime for absolute.
How about?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Can we be honest? Somebody in that administration got a little nervous when somebody in an orange shirt came and actually talked to us. And all you did was just address us. That's it. Because it's funny, after that meeting, that's when we had multiple, and I was like,
and I've never been back.
You haven't. That's the funny part. And I'm like,
I don't waste my time. Listen. You see, I'm not one that's running for mayor. And they say you got to hit the podium because you're running for mayor. I'm not being fake. Mm-hmm. If I come in there, I got something to say. Mm-hmm. Or I just want to look at you and just make you nervous. but yeah, this is one of the two. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think this bridge between into the, like, even the, you know what else I want to encourage for the Chief Justice? Encourage community service, but not just any community service. Community service that's going to get out here and do a duty to the community. We could start addressing some of our issues, like cleaning up our streets, by using the community service that the courts imply to take care of this. Like back in the day, you know, FDR had it where he wanted people to love this country, so he had them work on the highways and up and down the rails. He made that jobs for young men, so you start loving your countryside.
Right.
We start giving people more, pushing the community service back into the community. So it's little things like that over time could really resonate to the point where everything starts connecting together. I can't sit there and be there saying, yeah, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. No, the right people got to be in place to say, that old lady that say when she's running some kind of event that they want to do or some kind of needs some help, they should be able to come and say, give me 1 or 2 of them young men that got community service.
Right.
ODs.
Yeah.
Oh. Our pandemic of drugs. That's the issue.
Yeah. That has been just 2 doors down from me.
That nobody, not the mayor, not the other guys running, but you know, it's just me and the mayor running. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The other guy went, I don't know how to say his name. It's just 2 of us. It's me. Why even mention? I'm not, because you know what? Remember when Jay-Z said this? 50 Cent said this when he came at Jay. And Jay came back and said, I'm all about $1. What the F is 50 Cent? And 50 said, ooh, I'm not about to mention nobody's name and just add, this is me and the mayor. This is what it is.
Yeah.
But we're coming to our end, I guess. So
yeah. We hitting towards the end. So listen. So here's the thing. Again, you know, it was what I can say is it shows a lot of consistency and push and drive and grind for, you know, for your petitions to be challenged, for you to continuously keep moving forward and doing what you had to do and doing what y'all both had to do to actually get back on. But because you don't see that fight. Usually when people get their stuff challenged, it's like, oh, I'm done. I'm off. Let me go ahead. So the thing is that
I
is
love a fight.
you're right. So the thing is that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I always tell people, let me put this camera on so you can see the face. I always tell people everybody have a right to run, no matter who you are. At the end of the day, that's your right to run. You just got to do your due diligence to try to make sure that you do whatever it is that you got to do and what you feel in your heart to do to get where you got to go.
Think anybody thought we was gonna have this kind of blast though?
Oh, probably didn't. Probably didn't. Let's keep it a buck. But at the end of the day, it's like it's a very different feel. It's a different dynamic now because it's like, hold on, wait. We thought that he was gone.
You can't kill that roach.
Yeah. No, like, listen. So with that being said, it's like, you know, I commend y'all for continuously moving forward. I can commend y'all for, you know what I'm saying? And
you gotta get Unica back on here without me.
Yeah.
I am too polarized and I got too much on my mind, and she is really into the fine details. So y'all gotta get her where she can actually be heard because she's ready.
Yeah, and absolutely, Unica. Listen, that floor is open. So y'all you know how to hit me up. We'll set you up another one. And that's another thing again. Like they put it through. They hit me up. They hear early bird, early worm. It is what it is. Hey, listen, I appreciate y'all for coming on the vote. We, you know what I'm saying, it's nothing but love. I see it's a lot of